Darcy have been absolutely amazing through all of this. And I know it's your job to try and keep them strong, but tell us about how they've been really keeping you on your feet.
They've been absolutely amazing, and I've felt for the last 10 weeks I've had 2 jobs. Try and do the best for Derek as much as I can. And I know that what Derek would say to me is, don't worry about me, look after them, that's your job. And whenever I felt like I had to go into the toilet and have a moment, I know he'd be saying, what are you doing? You're a mother, get out there. And they've been amazing, you know, from finding moments to laugh, because I'm very aware that I've been very sad and anxious and focused on Derek, and I just have to think, well, I need to make them feel safe. They've lost, for the time being, let's pray, their dad, and he's their world. So they need to see that their mum is okay, and they've been just amazing. They've been doing so many things. So just before lockdown, last weekend, Derek was well. Darcy said, we need to go to the garden centre and get vegetables. The supermarkets are going to run out of food. So I don't know if you can see, there's loads of vegetables there. She actually, without even telling me, by the way, Ranvish, she one day, when in the first couple of weeks Derek being sick, just dug up an area which I hadn't planned to be dug up, and planted loads and loads of vegetables. And of course, it's sort of fantastic. We've actually started to eat them. And she grew radishes. And she said, I don't even like radishes. I grew this for Dad. And he's still not better. And I said, I know, but we can plant more. And he'll be glad that, you know, we've done it. And they do loads of things like, she knew I was going to be talking to you this morning, so she said, we need to cut your hair. So she cut my hair.
She's a very practical girl, Darcy, isn't she? She's very practical. Yeah.
She's so practical, and they've both been doing things, and I've been letting them just do. We've not really had any time. There's no school. We've not really had any time scale, you know. We have not been living normal hours of the day. So when it was really hot, she was like, we need the paddling pool, Mum, let's put it together. And so we were in the paddling pool at 11 o'clock at night. Sorry, neighbours. But anything to just try and find little moments of joy, so that they can see that even this, though this is going on, we can still smile. And that is Derek's big thing, actually. Derek says, you've got to laugh, you've got to laugh, you've got to be silly. Sometimes it would drive me mad, actually. I think this is really inappropriate for you to be so silly in this situation. But actually, it's kind of helped, because it's meant that I've sort of been able to kind of, they've allowed me, I've had to be strong for them, and they're being strong for me. There was a brilliant, ridiculous moment when, you know, Derek was obviously stuck in the coma. It wasn't the 3 to 5 days that we'd hoped. And Darcy did the thing that teenagers do and was on the internet looking up what it was about coma. And she said, Mum, I've just been reading about comas. Sometimes when people come out the comas, they have totally different accents. One woman could speak fluent Mandarin. I was like, blimey. And we were just hysterical, laughing at the idea of Derek waking up really posh with a posh accent, or suddenly speaking Mandarin. You know what I mean? And I saw her, the look of relief on her face that I was laughing, and that she could laugh. And she said, you know, Mum, it's going to be OK. It's going to be OK. Billy was furious, actually. She said, I don't want him to have a posh accent. I want him to talk Chorley.
He's from Chorley, Chorley boy.
The best people are from Lancashire, as you well know, Kate. As you well know. Kate, are you and Billy and Darcy now sort of, you have to try and get, obviously, they're not going back to school just yet, but at some point they will. It's very difficult to think of not being in limbo.
Billy's going back to school on Monday.
How does he feel about that, Kate? Because Derek would do the school walk, wouldn't he? Derek used to take him to school.
Yeah, so when I was on D&B with you, it was always Derek, and in the mornings it would be Derek that took him. Yeah, well, when we got the news, because he's year 6, he's one of those that's going back, you know, not fully, but in some form, and he said, I don't want to go back before Dad's better, because I need Dad to do it. And I said, well, what would Dad say? And Darcy's offered to get him some cool clothes. They don't have a school uniform. So she's been on Amazon, God knows what she spent, but she's been on Amazon trying to get him some cool T-shirts for Monday. I said, you don't have to wear it, it's just Darcy's idea of cool, Billy. So, yeah, He's going back on Monday, and that is what we have to do now. So, you know, with Derek, we don't know if he can recover. And what the doctors say is, they talk in double negatives. You have to sort of take comfort from the double negatives. They say, we can't say he can't recover. We don't know he can recover. And we don't know how long it'll take. So from that, you take sort of a terrible uncertainty and have to find good in it, because you have to think to yourself, well, there is hope, there's possibility. They can't say he can't recover. They don't know how long, and they're now saying we're talking weeks and months. One doctor even said it could be up to a year, which feels unthinkable, but we're praying there'll be progress, obviously, before then. And so that's what they're saying. So in that time, I think, well, I've got to give them some life. So that's what we're trying to do now. So Billy's going back to school on Monday. Darcy and I are going to be intensively home tutoring while he's at school. I'm just saying that so that in case she's watching, she knows it's not that she's still off. And we're going to gradually, we haven't really been out, we haven't been able to go out. We were first of all self-isolating for a long time, and then just because of what we were dealing with, we haven't been going out. But we have been out on, some neighbours gave us some bikes that they were throwing out. And we went out on a bike ride, and just down the road to some park near us. And I'm trying to gradually, it's about really, I think, trying to carry on with life when you don't know life is certain. And I know that that is what a lot of people are going through. There's some people trying to put themselves back together because they've lost people, and there's some people like me who have people who are sick, and there's also just the uncertainty that we're all in. So I'm just trying to do what everybody else is really, and just and gradually try to move forward, whilst every day, of course, absolutely trying to do the best for Derek too, and it's just partially that off. And can I just quickly say, I've been overwhelmed by how lovely everybody's been, by everybody watching the show. Thank you so much. I know I haven't got back to you all, and actually loads of really close friends of Derek and mine I haven't responded to yet because it's been so frenzied, but I'm going to, and people have just been amazing, and it makes a massive difference. Neighbours have been amazing, friends, and it gives you a sense. Actually, I've seen a lot of good in people. I've been contacted by politicians of all sides of the political calendar, by all sorts of people that you wouldn't think, and you see a lot of really good in people in the midst of all this, and that's something to stay really positive about, I think.